Hey, my YouTube family. So today I'm going to make a few face masks for my family living in my home. Just protection for when we have to go to the gas station because we have a riding mower and got to keep the grass cut. You know, it gives us reason to be outside and playing. All right, I am using what is called the Olson Mask pattern. I downloaded this from Unity Point Health. I believe they're Michigan. I could double check. The link I'll put in the description down below. I am using scrunchy hair pieces for thick hair, which means they're much bigger than a regular hair tie. This one's almost as long as the palm of my hand. A regular hair tie is only about that long, so it adds quite a bit so that when you hook it on your ear, it's comfortable. Okay? And they're washable. Yeah. I got I had some fat quarter bundle that I got at Walmart. I think they range from $5 to $10 depending on where you get them. So I got that. And I had some muslin already at home. So this is my interior lining. I'm going to use the decorative fabric for the outside. I've altered their pattern a little bit because I can't just leave stuff alone. Okay, because I refuse to spend $9 for a little square of the HEPA filter, and it's not washable. It's not like reusable. That's a problem. I got sew-in interfacing from Walmart called Craft Fuse. Comes in a tube. This cost me $4.88, and it's 15 inches wide and 4 yards long. So, and I got the heavy duty, so when you pull it out and look at it, it's good. It don't bend real easy. You can breathe through it, but it's similar. It's not going to be HEPA quality, and it doesn't have the HEPA price. But with 4 yards, you're going to save a lot of money. And it's washable. Awesome. This is the finished mask that is sewed to fit my son, my teeny tiny son, who has a little itty bitty face. Now in the Olsen pattern, it has you sew pockets here so you can put little pieces of that HEPA filter in there and pull it out and replace it. I changed my mind mid making this one for my son and lined it with that interface. So when you put it on, you're going to hook it on your ear. This is made for his itty bitty face, but it's pretty good. It's a little too small for my big chubs, but that's okay. It fits him, and that's what's important because he goes out occasionally for me to the gas station. I am now making one for my younger son and my husband. Now they have this full printout. It's several pages. The pages aren't numbered. I think there was 3 pages to the pattern. I mean, it was way like detailed. So you had face 2, face 1, cheek 2, cheek 1. So 2 of these, 2 of these. And Mouth, 2 of these. 2 separate patterns. Why can't you back to back your fabric on this and just cut one? I know, just practical, but that's what I do. I took, and where did I put it? I am the most disorganized thing. Oh, there it is. So I took the face 2 and I laid it on a sheet of paper. And I traced it out. Okay? So this side is the same. And I added on to it. Chubbier face, need a little more room right here before putting the earpiece on. And this is what I did. I added, I could tell you, I added 2 1/4 inches, just for some wiggle room. Okay, so now I have, this is my pattern. I already cut this out of fabric, and I put the pretty sides together, so you're looking at the outside, and I'm going to sew them, and then I'll turn them right side out. And I have it ready for 2 masks, a black and gray one and a blue and white spotted one. That's the inside of the fabric, along with 2 of my linings. I have 2 of those. What did I do with the other one? There it is. Okay. And 2. Sorry, I got stuck to something else. 2 of my interface. And I made these the normal size of the face piece. I did not extend these in length because you really don't need that filter back here on the back side of your face. Just in the front, okay? I'm going to put you on my tripod so you can look down and see me sewing. You'll be able to hear me talk, you'll see my hands, but the face thing's going away, all right? Okay, we're back. I'm going to start. I am sewing on a Brother HC 1850. It's my kind of everyday type of sewing machine. I put black thread in because it doesn't matter for just a face mask, but it'll be easier for y'all to see where I have sewn. Yes, I know I did a horrible thing. I sewed over my pins. But once I start, I can actually pull them out because I'm not sewing that big of pieces. Come out, wind it up so it's loose. Got my handy dandy cutter on the side of my machine. My fancy sewing scissors that were actually my dad's. These scissors are probably 60 years old and they still work like cutting, you know, nothing. I love these scissors. And yes, I go absolutely berserk if I see anybody using them for anything but what I intend them to be used for, which is sewing. I also have an old pair of pinking shears. My dad used to taught me to sew when I was 6, and he made motorcycle leathers. father was definitely a jack of all trades. I think that's where I get it. Okay. Pull these out. Don't need them. I'm going to trim my threads. I'm just going to go through and sew all my pieces before I do any trimming. Well, except the threads. Threads make me nuts. I gotta trim them. Okay. Oh, I didn't pull it out far enough, so come out of my needle. Y'all get to see how truly blind I am. So let me put this over here so you can see. When I have to thread my needle machine, I like to cut the thread at a quick angle. I know I'm goofy. Do a little lick job. Pulls all the fibers together. And can I do it first try? No. Second, third, fourth? No. Some people do the wet their fingers and do it. Either way, it's bit on the end of the thread. But that's always the thread that gets cut off. So don't freak out. That ends up in my trash bin. Why is it? It's back there. That goes in there. All right, let's try this again. Where I'm quite not so special. All right, here we go. I just sewed off the edge. I'm not real worried about back stitching and stuff because that little end will be sewed over when I attach my interface and my backing. It will go over it and kind of lock that. So I'm not really worried about it. Some people are worried about it. I don't sew professionally, so don't freak out. I sew for my own personal use. But I have sewed all kinds of weird things over the years. But hear it loud and hear it now. I will never sew with boning again. What a pain in the keister. Oh, I just don't have the patience for boning. Just don't. Don't ask. Don't request. You want that? Go to somebody else. I ain't the one. So, 2 interfaces, 2 outers, now the 2 linings, and we can start joining them. Yay! One more. I did try to save some time in this video by cutting all my fabrics and stuff beforehand. Yes, I did a no-no and I didn't iron everything and make it perfect. put hateful comments below about it because it just wasn't going to happen. All right. My husband said, I need a face mask. So we're making a face mask, and I figured I might as well tape it. So all my edges, let's slide that back for right now because we're going to do some trimming. My two interfaces, my two exterior fabrics that are decorative, you know, fun, because gotta have a little fun. And then my two linings are all done, sewed and connected, so it makes the mask. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we're gonna take this. You see this curve? Yeah, that's just not gonna lay real nice without putting some little V-nuts, V-cuts. Yeah, V-nuts. My husband calls those BillieIsms. I have them all the time. So we're going to cut those. Closer together at the top, further apart towards the bottom, because the curve is not as defined at the bottom as it is right here. So there's, all right, we're going to pause. I'm going to go and iron these open, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. All right, now I cheated. Okay, so I just folded them right side out and just ironed it. And I made myself a cup of hot tea in the microwave. I cheated. I make it in a clear glass because it doesn't get as hot as those ceramic mugs do that have water that, you know, gets sucked up inside of them and never truly dry out. And they get hot, you know. This glass cup gets a little warm, but it doesn't get as hot. So I make it in that. All right. So these are all the pieces to make one. Lining, interfacing, and the outer. So outer, interfacing, lining. So with me ironing them like this, like I did, you can lean your inner seams either to the right or to the left. Okay, that helps cut down on bulk. So we're going to open this one up. We'll do this one first. And when I open this one up, I want the lining, the edging all to go one way. When I put this in it, I want this to go the other way. So when I pin this together, it's really not as bulky. Now, I'm just kind of showing this like this so you can see. So this is the interior of the fabric. This is the exterior. Okay. Putting that on there. And I'm lining this up and pinning across the top of it. Okay, so I just have 5 pins. So there's my interior and my exterior. Interfacing, a little shorter than that. I'm going to take my lining and I'm going to pin it. Use the same pins. So I am only going across with the sewing machine one time. See, I'm not taking that pin all the way out. I'm just pulling it part way out, poking down through so I can gather some of the under and move on. Line it up. Let's see if I can show you. Pull this out some and go down. Pick it up. There you go. And I've gathered some of the under. Do the same for this pin. All right, now I do need 2 additional pins, one for that end, one for this end. I don't know why that's doing that, but I'm gonna figure it out. So my husband and I were married a few years when he finally learned that I knew how to sew. Drove him insane. How dare I know how to do something he doesn't know how to do? He made me teach him. He made a couple country western shirts, like 3 I think. That man can do buttons, collars, and cuffs better than me. Damn shame. All right. But he's not really a big sewer. He just wanted to know. He was also fascinated to know that I know how to ballroom dance. So we were on our 10th anniversary on a cruise. I seen it was something you could take a class for. I was like, oh, I hadn't done that in years. He's like, you ballroom dance? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, they teach that. Maybe that's something we could do together. So we went to the class and we had fun. So we come home. He got like a 10 class package with the Arthur Murray Dance School. I think we went to 3 classes and he was done at the Arthur Murray School. We never did finish out our package because he can't visualize it. He's a very visual learner and he can't visualize the dance steps, so he can't perform it. And he got mad because they said I was like a natural, but they didn't know that my aunt and uncle taught at the Arthur Murray School for many, many years in New York. And so my dad felt it was something we had to know. I had to know. So that's that. All right, so I sewed down one side. Now I've got to pin to sew down the other side. I left my ends open. That's what I'm going to pull it down through to turn it right side out. Or you could go ahead and turn it right side out here and sew the edge, but you know, I want a nice looking edge. I want everything uniform. So I took my pins out and I'm getting ready to pin down the other side. Okay. All right, so first pin's very easy, but I want to get my middles lined up. For any of you that have dealt with interfacing before, it's thick. So I have my interfacing going one direction and for a fold. And I have my fabrics going the opposite direction, which makes them both about the same thickness when I sew over them. Except this one wants to wrestle me a little bit. That's all right. I got pins that'll say you'll stay where I want you to stay. All right. Why is that so little? I don't know why that's. I cut it to the pattern. Oh, well. It's all right. It's the lining. All right. So yes, poking holes in it is not going to be good, you know, to help that interfacing catch some stuff. But this stuff's wonderful. You wash it, it'll close back up. You won't even be able to tell where the pins were. FYI. All right, pull the sewing machine closer. And I'm going to sew it. Right off the end, lift it up. All the needles out. We'll finish this one up so you can see the finished product. So there it is, sewed down both sides. Yeah, I've got a little messed up there, but it'll be fine. Okay, we're going to turn this inside out. Right side out, sorry. It's going to be a bit snug, but it's okay. It's all right, because once we get it out, it'll be beautiful. I consider this to be the hardest part of the project. Cutting, pinning, sewing, you know, that all takes ironing, that all takes a little bit of time. But that's all quick and easy, you know, it's easy. But pulling the fabric through sometimes can be the worst part. I got it halfway out. Second half won't take as long. And there you go. I've gotten it all right side out. It ain't pretty. I'm going to put a couple pins here and there. Just to start helping it form its shape. Right. And then at the very end, now you could iron this or whatever, you know, whatever makes you happy. Now I'm going to pin down the other side. Okay, I have pinned it into place. Now what I am going to do, I can feel right here is where my interfacing is. That's the edge of my interfacing within my thing. I'm going to sew that down. Now I will do a few back stitches here. That's it, just a few. And I'm going to get close to the edge. And there we go. Pull out these two pins, throw them in there. Now I'm going to spin my fabric, and I am going to put a stitch. I am going to loosen that up some. gets real thick up front, dead center, I'm going to go slow. Now on this side, there's my edge. It's right here. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to come up. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to turn. I am going, there it is. I'm going to go straight across. Come up to the edge. There you go. Now I can take, okay. I'm going to spin it, and I'm going to go close to this edge. Close to this point, and it's right here. I'm going to go slow. Slow, you go too fast. Okay, I'm past it. Okay, my other line is right here. Go back stitch a few, come forward a few. There you go. All right. Trim my threads. I got 4 of them, same spot. There. See, I went too fast, so it did that. It's fine. Okay, so now I've got to sew. I've already measured it on my husband when I was in the house and he was doing a conference call. I just kind of strapped it to his face to know I need to fold these in 2 inches. So we're gonna go to the 2-inch mark, which is right there. It's 2-inch mark. I'm gonna get one of the scrunchy hair things. I'm gonna slip that bad boy in there. Actually, I'm gonna make it just a little bit bigger. Okay. So from there to there. Oh, that's too big. Okay. So from there to there, we've got 1 3/4 inches, which is what I want. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to sew down. Back stitch, go back through, just go across, back stitch, then right off the edge. Pull it, trim it. I got to trim threads on both sides. That's 1. That's 2. Now together. I have one of those loose. Where did I put it? Oh, scrunchy. I lost it. Okay. That's right. I'll just do another one. All right. So now I'm going to do this on the other side. So 1 3/4. So that means my fold goes there. We're going to bring it in a quarter so it's rounded because we're putting this thing in it. There we go. That should do it. Slip that through. Measure it again. I should have 1 3/4. And I'm going to do this. Get on there. Okay, so over, back stitch, come across, back stitch. Oh, no, it didn't. I thought it broke off. Okay. Cut it off. And there I have a quick mask for my husband to use to go get gas or milk or eggs or whatever during this time of need. I will make my son's off the camera, but at least you can see this is a little bit bigger than the other one I made for my son with the tiny face. Where is it? Where did it go? Okay, this is crazy. I had it here. Oh, is that it? No, that's fabric. Nope. Where is the one from my son with the tiny face? Pick up the patterns. All right, so this is the one for my son, my skinny son. And this is for my husband, who's needs it to be a little bit longer because he's like BillieB. Okay, so my son's and my husband's smaller, a little bit longer to get 3 years for comfort. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a blessed day.